That's cool. But we're going to have a sit down in my bathroom, or at least in the little baby space room that is my bathroom. There's your wallpaper. Here comes the cat. This is a legit Z review. How are you doing, everyone? I'm getting a little more intimate than usual. Now, I've reviewed bidets previously on this channel. If you think I'm joking, links in the description to my previous bidets with the Amazon purchase links underneath them, because I'm a huge proponent of this sort of thing. You know, space age ass wiping tech. And it is with a heavy heart I have to give you a negative review on a bidet. And it's even with a heavier heart that I have to rip this fucking thing out of the floor and return it to Costco. Because this... miracle of fucking science here is the Biobidet, a Prodigy P770. And if you look on Biobidet's site, it's $2,200 because it's not just the top, like a... hold on, I gotta turn off auto lid and auto flush. It's not just the top bit like normal. It's the whole fucking toilet, like the porcelain section as well, is all part of this package. And I bought this house, and I love this house, and I had this has the old folks, handle here, and it had a really tall toilet. I needed, like, literally, no shit, foam blocks to keep my feet from dangling, because I didn't want to buy a squatty potty, and if you have 3-inch foam blocks, linked in the description in case you have a really tall toilet, they work great. So it was $2,200 on their site. It's $2,200 on Amazon. Then someone in my patronage chat messages me, by the way, angry anime girl with a super soaker, just pointing out the thing. I'm angry. I'm very calm right now. We'll get into the reasons why I'm angry and why I'm going to return an entire fucking toilet that I gotta take out and put in my car and drive to Costco. Like, shh, breathe. Well, don't breathe. We're in a bathroom, but I paid $1,000 for the whole thing. I wouldn't have bought it at $2,200. That's fucking stupid money. But, the normal bidets I recommend, the BB 2000, the one I have several of, those things cost like $700 when you don't find them on sale. So, like, getting the whole $2,200 thing for $1,000 was like, oh my God, what a deal. Thank you, Costco. And I chose to ignore some of the reviews on Costco.com. But I'm going to have to go and leave another review on Costco.com because it's far worse than they pictured it. I've never been so disappointed. I'm bidets in my space, and it's, oh my God, the doors open. This is basically a toilet not designed for a person who lives in this luxury house. This is designed for a person who's visiting a hotel and goes into their lobby bathroom, and the lobby bathroom's trying to be fancy, so they put a fucking, they mount this to the wall. And it's like, ooh, we can do that's fancy. Oh, can we flush? Oh, it's so cool. Look at it flush. Do you see it flushing? Do you see it flushing? With the push of a button. It's a miracle. Working again? Okay. So anyway, now that that's back to on, let me explain to you the problems with said toilet experience. I love the height. It's much lower. It's only about 15.5 to this. I love the size of the seat. It kind of feels a little bit weird because it's like you're sitting on a park bench and pooping through it. So that's great. But the problems come with... Let's just get to the fundamental problem. When I buy the Biobidet BB 2000, which is like a $700 fucking bidet, you have expectations. You expect infinite hot water. You expect very blatant cleaning cycles. You expect it to do movements and special and feminine water. Here, in fact, here's the remote for the BB 2000, which I've covered in foam so it's easier to grip. But this is what you get with the lesser model than this. And you have, stop, butt wipe, feminine wipe, put on a fan, turbo mode, or they just go all out and fucking just say enema on the goddamn, on this remote. They're just like, screw it. It's an enema. It's not turbo mode. And then you have oscillating back and forth, and then you have pulsating, and then you have like filter, and you could adjust it up and down 3 different levels of water temperature and seat temperature, because the seat's heated. And this seat is heated very nicely. And you get to move it while you're using it, and there's a clock, and it has all these displays. It's wonderful. Now this one, which is designed to be mounted, obviously, has the ability to flush, full flush, small flush. Making weird noises. 1.6 gallons per flush, 1 gallon per flush. And then the seat controls. So now that's like the big, there's a P700 and a P770. The 770 does the seat controls, or the lid controls. So that's nice, but that's a gimmick, because I walked in here and you saw the lid go up, and that'd be fine if I was gonna spin around and drop a number 2. But if it's the first thing in the morning and I'm running in here and I have to do number 1 real bad, then here's what happens. The seat goes up automatically, right? And you're just like, other seat go up, other seat go up. I gotta take a leak. Other seat go, okay. It's 5 full fucking seconds between operations. And you can't like program it to do both seats when you walk into a room, if you're a man. I mean, maybe you just want the seat up. Maybe you just want the lid and not the seat. But that's 5 seconds. Now you can manipulate these manually, and they will, whoa, fuck. I guess they will, but that one did not like. If I like lift this up, eventually it will. I don't like this feature, if you can't tell. Also, let's say you did have both seats up. And then you go to leave. You just took a leak. You're done. Seat down. Like the thing down. Like down. Down. Well, that's one down. Will the other one come down? No. You have to wait around and then hit the second one. Who the hell has time for that? There either needs to be another button or a long press that just says we'll put both seats down. This is the iceberg tip of the problems with this unit. Okay, so the seat's annoying. You can assist it. You can just get in there and rip the seat up, and it'll sort of go, ooh, like when you push open a door. The flushing actually works pretty fucking great. Like, I have no problem with the flush. Although, I'll bring this back up again. I'm returning this, so I'm going to just take advantage of... There is a shelf. The way, when the advertisement of this, one of the things that make me excited to have a new bidet is that when you flush it, there's whirlpools around the entire rim, and then goes down, and there's a second jet that shoots up. But there's a fucking shelf there. Like a shelf, if you can see it. Like it's almost flat. It's like that much of an angle. And the very first time I used this, there was stuff. I'm just going to call it stuff up on that shelf. And the little spinny whirlpool thing was not getting rid of it. So, first impressions. I haven't actually, you can't use it without anybody sitting on it. There is a sensor. So I can't hit feminine wash and get it to show you the feminine wash. I've demonstrated the nozzles before. In fact, I demonstrated them on the live stream that I installed this toilet. It took a little over 3 hours to remove the toilet, clean the ring, put the new toilet down. I had to cut something in the back because it goes way, way too far back. We'll discuss that. Let's look at the remote. All right, let's just give the full remote like we're doing in a fucking amp DAC review. So you get these 2 black boxes are infrared blasters because they're just communicating with that thing. I don't think that the sensor is in this to see when you're in the room. It might be, but I've had this out of the room and it doesn't do it, so it must still be somewhere in here. So you have full flush, 1.6 gallon, 1 gallon. You have...
Here's your reminder. Clean the litter box. Here's your reminder. Clean the litter box.
It's like 6 different echoes just screaming that out in different locations. It's fantastic. Excuse me. You get your 3 buttons, lid only up, then seat up, then down. operation. You do it twice, obviously after 5 seconds to do them both. Your front buttons are stop, which has a little mark on it so you know it's stop, even though it's blatantly the last button, so you wouldn't really need a stop button, or at least an indicator there. Posterior wash, feminine wash, enema, and dry. I don't usually use the dry feature. I have a roll of toilet paper. It comes out the bottom and the back, by the way, because I'm that person. I have arguments to state why that's better than over the front. We'll get into that in another video where we don't want the arguments in the comments completely fucking overtaken. That's the basic layout. Like, there's nothing special or new about this other than the fact that they say the word enema instead of saying the word turbo. But posterior wash, feminine wash, enema, dry, that's normal shit. All normal, same as the BB2000. Then you have your oscillating, pulsating, and rhythm. Rhythm is new. Rhythm is not on this. You have oscillating, you have pulsating, but you don't have rhythm, which is basically like a combination of the two. It'll do... Actually, could you put both of these on at the same time? I don't remember. I think you might be able to do that, which would be rhythm. So this has rhythm. Anyway, so this is what you are presented with on the wall. Now let's get into the advanced features. So when you're sitting down and you've chosen your mode, you can then adjust pressure, and there's lights on all this. Pressure from 1 to 5. You have seat temperature, which is a setting you basically just set. I like it at the hottest. Water temperature, which you can set to the hottest, is 4 modes, off if you include off as a mode. Drying temperature, which is the temperature for the little hair dryer that blows in your balls, or non-balls, whatever what ladies have down there. So you set all this stuff up. This is like a setting, like you preset it, because you don't need to really adjust that, except we're going to get to it. And then the position, which is where the actual head is in relation to your bits. Now that's something a lot of times you have to adjust a little bit. Like, that's not just like, oh, I set it and it's there forever. Things move and shift, and if you sit further back on the seat, it doesn't line up. Because again, this seat is literally a fucking bench. This is so much seat that I feel weird sitting on it. So position you might have to adjust. When it's on the remote, when you're holding the remote, you can just, you know, up, down, left, right, back, more or less. All the pressure, all the settings are on this. Here is the auto light on and off, because there is, in case you didn't notice it, literally, that's off. I think once I put the seat up. Anyway, the light will come back on at some point. Deodorant. There's the light. And it sounds like it's ready to take off, because that's a deodorizer that you can turn on and off, and it'll come on and off as you use it. I don't recommend that either, because unless you fill the actual, there's a little screen you could pull out. Unless you put a scented packet in there, it's just taking toilet smell and throwing it out. This has a deodorizer too, right here on the cheaper unit. Nozzle cleaning. Oh, there's the nozzle. Hi. How you doing? So there's your stainless steel nozzle with plastic valves, or plastic or silicone rubber valves. And you can hit this button and clean it. On the cheaper Biobidet BB2000, you have to hold 2 buttons on the side to accomplish that. You can go away now. Thank you. Thank you for coming out. You have a power saving mode. It's cleaning itself. You have a power saving mode, which will disable the heaters if you don't use it after a while. Like the seat heater and the water heater will just go to sleep. Real bidet enthusiasts do not ever turn on power saving mode. And then you have the options that are specific for this unit, which is auto lid open close, which I demonstrated at the beginning, and auto flush. I've never gotten it to auto flush. A lot of people were complaining on the comments on the Costco thing that auto flush was happening like randomly in the middle of the night. Like they would just hear the toilet flush, and I'm like, I'm gonna leave that off. But I did turn it on because I knew this review is coming. This negative review. This is a negative review. We haven't gotten to the best parts yet. Please stick around. And it's going to be only big, exciting news if you're a bidet enthusiast. If you're just a regular person, you're wondering, why am I sitting in this guy's fucking bathroom with the poop emoji? I think this came with one of my Biobidets, because this is on their site with the poop emoji, dude. And, you know, link wallpaper in the description. So that pretty much covers this. I did have to drill into my wall with mounts to put this with a level so this could sit in it. And it comes off so that you could, I guess, sit on there like you're holding a fucking Game Gear. because this is bigger than a Game Boy. This is Game Gear sized. And you could be like, I want butt cleaning. Oh, another thing that bothers me, I want to get into the ergonomics of this, you can't press the top of these buttons. They're hinged at the top, but they're not hinged at the very top. What did I just hit? They're not hinged at the very top, so if you press here, you're not pressing a button. You have to press well below the top 25 to 30%. And it's hard to press there. If you go to the bottom, it's easy. But up here, it's literally not a button. So that's just like, that's poor design, man. Like, I'm trying to be like, I love Biobidet, the company. I love the BB2000. I gave my sister like the Brondell I've used. I've never had a Toto, but I love Biobidet, and that is poor design that up there isn't a button and down there is. It also is the same for these, but I've never had a problem hitting these because they're at the front. You would never hit back there. You'd always hit there. I do like the two-stage flush though. As much as I don't like quite the shape. Like it swishes around, fills up, then there's another jet that is shoved up from the bottom and just flings whatever you have in there out. So we're basically done with this. Those are my complaints for that. Now let's swing around. I have a drill here because we're gonna have to do some drilling. I'm gonna close the lids. The problem is we don't live in Star Trek. If this was Star Trek, you know when they walk through the doors and like the bridge of the Star Trek Next Generation or whatever, whichever Enterprise you choose, and the doors are like, shoo, shoo, like open immediately and close immediately. Someone's tried to engineer that in real life. And we just don't have the sensors that are good enough to know and then to open the door fast enough while being safe. So everything's sort of like slow and lags behind. And this feels like it wants to be Star Trek tech, and it ain't. So here's what the actual unit looks like. It's very white. Biobidet, it has 5 LEDs down, power, seat sensor, power savings, seat temp, and water temp. Now, if I were to just touch the seat, you see the seat sensor lights up because it thinks someone's sitting there. So I could actually activate it while my hand is on it. Power saving mode is not enabled. And then you have these seat temp and water temp lights, which are green. And they bleed. All these lights bleed into one another because they're not separated. So when I'm here, seat temp is lighting up the power savings and seat sensor is lighting up from the power. So it's not a very good display of what's going on. Also, even though I have like seat temp and water temp controls, if I adjust the seat temp or water temp, it's still just green. They don't tell you what the setting is, they just tell you it's on. So if I disable those, then they go off. But what's the good of me knowing, I wouldn't walk up to this bidet knowing that my fucking daughter-in-law or fucking grandma have adjusted it so that the water temperature is not just off, but low, medium, or high, and it doesn't show you that. Put those back up because I'll probably end up using this one more time before I jank it out. Zeos, if it flushes electronically, can you flush it if there's a blackout? That was a question I legitimately had to ask myself when I got it, because I'm like, oh fuck. Well, they have provided behind this door 2 manual flush buttons. There's a bowl cleaning button and a flush button. And if we lift this up, see, it should just be like another one. Do. I gotta pick a leak. I gotta go. Ah, there you go. If we lift this up, there are 2 buttons that manually open the valve. So bowl cleaning button is there. So you could just pulsate that all day. Because there's no tank. This is literally just being fed from the feeder on the wall. So you're getting whatever pressure that is. One of the complaints on Costco's reviews were that if you have high water pressure, which I must have just average water pressure right here, that will actually splash out of the fucking toilet when it's trying to do the thing. And I'm like, well, that's not fun. So you would have to actually crank down the valve to do that. And then you have the... Well, you can just hold this down forever. It's a manual button. You could hold them both down. You could do them both at the same time. So you can officially do that. This side, hi everyone, has 5 buttons, a manual flush, the infrared receiver, a feminine wash, posterior wash, and power. So you can power the unit off. For whatever reason you would want to power the unit off. Down, 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 down. I want you to go down. You can power the unit off on the side. One thing I will point out, these are rubber cap buttons, like they feel like lift, like they're the, it's the same as the remote. No, the remote's rubberized buttons. The Biobidet BB2000, the unit which I usually run, let me put the actual light on in here, has just a piece of glass that it's a touch sensitive surface. You just touch it and it's glass. And that makes sense because you'd be cleaning this with harsh chemicals. And that is an actual rubber clicky click click button. So that's actually a downgrade. Let's talk about the other downgrades of this toilet. Go back to sitting lonely against my my bathroom wall. Good wallpaper for this though. I'm glad I got to this does not have infinite hot water. I didn't know that for the first week because when I got it from Costco, despite reading all the reviews that said, hey, my unit showed up and it didn't have any hot water at all, I ordered it anyway because I figured at this price, it's dumb not to at least attempt it. And sure enough, I got it. I installed it. I paused my live stream to use it. No hot water. None. And as a bidet person, when you run out of hot water or have no hot water, it's just like you're a primitive caveman and you hate it. So I contacted Biobidet. They took my information. They asked for the copy of the fucking sales receipt. They took my credit card information in case I don't return the lid to a fucking bidet that's broken. And within 4 days, I got a replacement top. I put the replacement top on. By the way, I'm plugging it into the same thing as my jacuzzi. Jacuzzi powers down there, which is freaking wonderful, except for the fact that, like, to test it, you have to unplug it. So I had to go run in the basement, flip circuits and shit. So first problem with it was like, okay. Well, actually, no, the very first problem was installing it. And I'll try to swing the camera back there to show you what the fucking spacing problem is. But no hot water. Had to replace the top. So I have another one of these entire tops, which is the mechanical bit that controls all the flushing and holds everything. After I got it working, I sit down and I'm hitting the button and there's no clock timer. Like when you click the button on this one, in fact I can, even though there's no bidet hooked up, you see a 2-minute timer starts, shows you the position and the water temperature and everything else is all good. And you get it stopped. This cycle only lasted 60 seconds. This is a 2-minute cycle on the other one, 60-second cycle on this. Which, you know, maybe 60 seconds is enough, but I would like to hit it and then just use my phone for, you know, a minute and 55 seconds and then worry about what I got to do after that. Again, bidet enthusiasts will understand. Normal people are like, what are you talking about? 60 seconds of getting your ass blasted with water has got to be plenty. No, stop. I was hoping it was going to be longer with this one, you know, because it's the top of the line. Or there's actually one slightly more expensive one that I don't want to even look at because it doesn't even have like a nice shape to it. But the killer, the reason this is going back to Costco is that every bidet that's more than like $300 on Amazon, and I'll link a couple of them in the description, claims their big fucking bullet point, their selling point, what makes you want to buy them if you've ever had a bidet previous is tankless, instant hot water heater, infinite hot water forever, go. And this doesn't have that. This is a tanked system, so you get approximately 68 seconds of hot water. Actually, you get 60 seconds of hot water and then 8 seconds of lukewarm water, and then whatever is outside comes up your ass because it's just cold. And it's just like, I would almost give this thing a pass for several reasons. That is just the death note. It's just a death nail in the coffin. Like you can't run out of hot water. If I paid $2,000 for this, which I'm glad I only paid $1,000, but I'm getting that $1,000 back. Fuck you. But if I paid $2,000 for this, I would have smashed it with a hammer, then returned it to the place I bought it. I mean, like, oh, it was broken. Yeah, no, because it sucks. What's the other thing? Oh, another interesting thing. So turbo mode / enema mode, whatever you want to call it. On the BB2000, which is still my favorite bidet, you can turn it on and then use the oscillation or what's the other thing called? Pulsating mode. So you can turn it on and it could just help you find the space. It's great. This doesn't do that. The turbo mode on this is fixed. You turn it on and it's there. Oh, another thing that happens. Every time you hit turbo mode, or every other mode, the posterior wash and the feminine wash, remember your pressure settings and your location. The anima mode on this doesn't. Every time you run it, whether you just ran it or ran it a day ago, will default to the lowest pressure. And I know me and I know my own ass. And if I have it on this in the BB2000 and I'm like, all right, every time I hit this mode, be on the 4th out of 5th thing, and then the next time it runs out, I run it, it's on the 4th out of the 5th thing, and if I do it again and I lower it down and I run it, it's on the 2nd thing, whatever it is. This one, first mode, lowest mode, always, every time. Even if you want to do it 3 times in a row, you have to go and open the panel up, which, so why is this door even here if you have to adjust it all the time, and then raise the pressure for the next 45 seconds, because it took you 15 seconds to figure out that it lowered it again. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, toilet. Biobidet, why'd you do this to me? Look, I can grasp the concept of they give you an entire porcelain base. I'm glad I didn't, let's cool it down to the floor, by the way. Seal it down to the floor. They give you the entire porcelain base, and it is control of flushing, and it needs bigger valves. So there's definitely a higher cost to this than like a normal bidet that you just attach on, and your toilet does the toilet things, and the bidet does the bidet things. But at $2,200, which is what this thing should cost retail, it is wholly lacking. Where's that money going? I know what a porcelain toilet costs. At most, $400 for a nice one. And that is a nice one. So there's a $400 piece of porcelain. That leaves you guys with fucking $1,800 to make this $1,000 better than the BB2000. So, okay, you made the seats flip up. Fucking wonderful. That is not a $1,200 fucking add-on. Oh, it flushes the toilet. Okay, it's another $200 worth of stuff. Do not take away features on higher-end models. Hi, Chewbacca. Where are you going? She doesn't care about me anymore. Oh, the light came on because it thinks we're here. This is a downgrade. This feels like a $200 entry-level piece of shit bidet that has some sort of Star Trek fucking gimmicks on it, and that's it. So this is going back. I'm going to put a low-sit toilet here. I'm going to put my BB2000 back into space, and I'm going to be done with it. Let me close the lid one more time. Hi. Look at the space requirements for this pipe. I can't even fit my finger between where the porcelain is and that. And that's not in like a weird position where it's too far forward. People were complaining about this. How do I think I can power this off. I have to hold it. Hold on. Okay. Just because I'm about to do a thing. So, if we open this up and take it off, thank God I'm returning this. Gently now. You can see how this works, sort of. So, I'm trying to wedge this against the thing. The things I do for content. There's the poop tube. Here's your water feed, goes into the main body of the unit. Here's your little filter thing that you can pull out and replace with a fucking smelly packet or whatever. This is the drain for the tank, which I'm going to have to do when I return it. And here are the two takeoff valves for the flushing, for the bottom flushing and the normal spinny flushing. So that's it. That's what's going on right now. This thing trying to actuate, I turned it off. And this is it. This is a piece of porcelain. You can try to get it down there through that. It's so fucking close. It's so fucking close. And by the way, there's where the bolts are. And those are a pain in the ass. I had to get like a long extension to put them in. It's marvelously engineered in certain ways, but lacks in so many features that it's impossible to even recommend it. Again, if you have and you put it in, you just go. That's it. I'm going to stand up now for the first time in this review. Turn this on. Make sure it's pushed down because it has to seal in those things. If you have a hotel lobby, by all means, this will be super cool for that. But as a person who owns their own home, there's a spider in here. And I want to like wake up in the morning and actually have to take a leak and not have to like, oh fuck. See, look, it'll auto assist up. But I have to do that. So might as well just have a normal toilet seat. Anyway, I think I've talked about all the problems with this, what it's lacking. No infinite hot water is murder. I hate that. Another reason why it doesn't have infinite hot water is because it only draws 700 watts. So the big ones draw like 1500 watts because they're constantly hot water cycling. They're instantly. I know this is not a normal Z review. And I know the channel is going to transition to every other day. So I'm wasting 15 a month. There'll be reviews. And this is one of the 15. But Zeus, you love everything. No, I don't. I love art. I don't love this. And the worst part is I now have to remove it from the bathroom, dry it out, put it back in a cardboard box and drive it to Costco, which God bless Costco, because they're going to see me wheel this in and they're going to go, all right, here's your money back. And then I'm going to go spend $1,000 at Costco on something fucking else. So Biobidet, I love you guys. This is not a top of the line toilet. This should be marketed as commercial use. Or, you know what the problem was when I bought it? Nowhere on the fucking page was it like 60 seconds of hot water or tank hot water heater. And it didn't even dawn on me that this would be a tank design and not infinite hot water. It's $2,000. How could it not be? How could it not have infinite hot water? Oh, and another thing before I end this. Nowhere on this panel or the unit itself or the remote or the fucking instructions is the same made in Korea. And I know Biobidet makes all their stuff in Korea, or there's like 9 sites, but most of their stuff is assembled and finished in Korea, which is like a big selling point of the BB2000. Koreans use it, it's gotta be good. Korean tech is right up there with Japanese tech. But nowhere on it does it proudly state made in Korea. Nowhere. South Korea, not North Korea. This feels like a North Korean version of the bidet. It's really a South Korean version, but it's just like, it needs to just be more. They could have taken the Biobidet BB2000 and they could have added 2 more levels of pressure control. Maybe actually, here's another thing. I want a remote with a screen. This is my only clock. This is my only clock in my bathroom. They removed the clock. I used to have a display cycle showing me how long it was going to last. None of that on here. Not even like a LED display blinking down. I mean, you could say, well, why do you need that? So he goes, well, I don't know, but I have it on this and I fucking love it. There's so many ways to improve a bidet without removing the absolute base features of it. The seat up and down, fine. Make it faster. Put it like a child safety mode and then like an adult mode. Like, hey, I just want it to whip up. Just whip it up. More modes, more pressure. The ones in Japan play music. Literally, there's a music button, which I don't think you need, but this is a failure to improve. It's very fancy. My friend took a video of it. Everyone who walks in here and sees this takes a video of it because, oh my God, look at the seat. The seat is automatic. Are you bored with this now, by the way? Okay, there it goes. Like, it should just be a long hold and it should go beep and it should bring down both seats. Now, if I set it to auto seat, there it is, and I walk away for a long enough time, I think it's over a minute, it will put that seat down. It'll put both seats down if I walk away with both seats up. But that just means I have to come in here and open both seats again to take a leak. So, I'm done. I'm done complaining. The install process wasn't terrible, although I did have to cut the little chrome ring that was around my toilet valve, the little round one. I had to cut that metal because I couldn't get the toilet back far enough. Yeah, I'm in the room. I get it. Just hold on, please. So, Biobidet, I love you guys. Please make something better than this. Where's my BB 3000? Call it the Z edition. I'm working with companies now. We're promoting together. Let's do this together. I want to talk directly to your engineers. I want to talk about the Imagineers at Biobidet. Sorry about the echo in this space, by the way. I have to... Should I... Actually, I could put my sound demos in here if I put enough padding. That'd be amazing. Let's open the window. There. Oh, we get a nice fresh air. Yeah, no. I'm sorry, everyone. If you guys had your heart set on this, or if I, was wanting, hey, let's this one. It is not worth it. It is so fucking not worth it. And it's about to be another 3-hour swap meet of me putting another toilet in here and taking this toilet out, and then the adventure bringing it back to Costco, and then be like, and having to look someone in the eye at the return desk and be like, yeah, it doesn't work like I expected. Here's the receipt. Give me my money back. If you like these kind of reviews, please tell me in the comments, because I highly doubt anyone made it this far. If you did, you have a problem. But the problem is not me. The problem is your interest in bidets, which I can wholly recommend the BB2000. I will say, though, I bought another one, then round, and I had to go through the exchange process because the heater didn't work. The water heater didn't work again. So why the water heaters aren't working in these new biobidets, I don't know. If you recommend another bidet company, Toto or such, please let me know in the comments why you like it so much. One of the reasons I like the Biobidet is because the actual enema/turbo mode is pretty good. Like the Brondell was just like, water. And it was like, I don't want water. I want specifically, I ate a lot of Mexican food. It has to leave me. Help. Help. That's what it's here. Help. Patreon and subscribe star linked in the comments and description. Why? I don't know. No one is joining after seeing this video. Unless you do and specifically say, Zeos, more bidet reviews. Then I'll have to think of like a test bench setup. I'll probably put a quick disconnect on the floor. Just keep swapping out bidets and toilets. It'd be fantastic. No, it wouldn't. I want to use this. Yeah, those things. I would say Hi-Fi Guides in the Hi-Fi Guides forum, just because that's what I have to say. Don't forget to check out the yard sale. Should I put this in the yard sale? I want to get my money back. That's the thing, is I want to send a message to Biobidet. And the only way to do that is to return this to the retailer. I'm going to email them again. Now that they've swapped the top, I have a direct contact with someone there. I'm going to be like, look, I'm returning this, and here's why. And then I'm returning it. And then I'm probably going to be like, I still want them to sell the other ones, not this. This is definitely not designed for personal use. This is a commercial one, very simplified setup, forgets your settings. It's because the next person's a different person. It's supposed to be a different person who just sits down at the thing and does, I hit dry, by the way. It's so comfortable to sit on. Jesus Christ. It's blowing hot air on my ass. I'm going to stop now. Anyway, guys, thank you for stopping by. Download the angry, what's her name? Lori Manassi. Download her wallpaper with the fucking super soaker. That's a super soaker from my generation, by the way, which is why I respect it. And I will see you all tomorrow or the next day, depending on where we are in the whole scheme of things. Supplemental. It's now the end of the day. I just streamed for 6 hours. And I go to use it again because it's in my bathroom. And there's no hot water. So whatever happened between me pulling it off to look at it, to show you guys and putting it back, the heater stopped working again. Which means it's broken. So you suck. You suck, toilet bowl. You suck.